Hi everyone, so welcome back to another pick a card reading. So we do have 3 piles here, and today we're going to be doing a reading on what is coming in next for you. So this could be romantically, this could be financially, it could be anything. So we're going to take a look and see what's coming in next. So the 3 piles that I have here today, we have peridot. Okay, so if you are a Virgo, this is your crystal. I just had to put that out there. But peridot is the gemstone of August. So I guess Leo and Virgo. So we do have peridot here if you are drawn to this one. We have carnelian here on the second pile. And then we have good old turquoise for the third pile. So whatever you are naturally drawn to, go ahead and allow yourself to feel almost like a magnetic pull to that pile or maybe even that crystal. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys choose which one you're feeling the most, and we'll go from there. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at pile number 1. So for those that chose pile number 1, we're going to go ahead and look at what is coming in next for you. What is coming in? What are the energies coming in for you? So the first card we have here is the High Priestess reversed, followed up by True Love. Looking at these 2 cards here, the first thing that's coming up is what I pick up is that for some of you, I feel there is an individual, and this could be romantic, but it could also be like just an opportunity as well. But I do pick up that there is something coming in for you who chose pile number 1, where you feel as though it's almost like you're not giving enough thought to it, or you're feeling as though you're kind of overlooking something. Like that's what I pick up, like almost overlooking something. And I feel like whatever this thing is, it's definitely something you've been trying to manifest for a long time. And what I feel is that it's coming for you, whether it's a relationship or friendship or even an opportunity, work-wise or other. And I feel like some of you are looking at it and you're going, okay, whatever, because maybe in the beginning it's just not very alluring to you. But one thing I pick up for those of you who chose this pile, that there is something coming in for you, that be careful that you don't overlook it, because I think a lot of you who've pulled this pile can resonate with the fact of like, you've had a friend or two that, and maybe even a partner that, in the beginning when you first met them, you were like, ugh, I don't want anything to do with them. They seem like this or they seem like that. And you just totally overlooked them. But then time went on and you realized, oh my God, like we have so much in common. And they ended up being your best friend or your partner or whatever the case is. And I feel like there's something coming in again for you all. There's another cycle now coming in with the same type of energy where it looks unappealing or it looks like it's not for you, but you would be so surprised that this is actually, as this card says with the True Love, something that you're going to truly feel like you click with once you kind of allow it to get through any judgmental barriers. Because the High Priestess coming up here reversed does show the fact that this is our intuition, and if our intuition is coming up reversed, it's showing that we are perhaps using more of our mind and more of our judgmental aspects rather than our intuition, and rather than just feeling out a situation completely. So there's something coming up on that aspect. With the Temperance card coming up here, you're definitely being asked to recheck and make sure that you are you're watching everything from a balanced situation. So definitely looking from one aspect to the next, you know, like kind of looking at both sides of the coin instead of just being all one way instead of the other, because you might truly miss some hidden gems in regards to something coming up in your current life. All right, so, oh my God, like what in the world, what are the odds that the Temperance card here in the Angel Tarot deck, it has been exactly placed on top of the same card. I just used two different decks here. We have the Temperance card coming out twice, number 14, Major Arcana. This time reversed, this time upright. So just as what I was saying, make sure that you are looking at both sides of the coin, okay? Make sure in these next couple of weeks you're looking at everything, every single thing from both sides of the coin, because if you only choose one side of a situation to look at, you're going to miss something very, very important. So the next energies here that are coming up for you who chose pile number 1 in regards to what is coming up, we do have the Eight of Swords coming up reversed. So I do feel that in the next upcoming weeks, you're going to be feeling like you are releasing so much. If you have been feeling very tense, if you have been feeling very captive almost in regards to things around you or situations outside of your control, I feel like you're going to be feeling in the next couple of weeks totally released, totally feeling like you're seeing exactly what's in front of you, as though almost the truth is being revealed to you, quite honestly. Okay, for some of you, this could have to deal with a partnership or somebody coming in for you, because we do have true love here. So for some of you, this is going to be a romantic aspect where you feel as though someone is going to be letting you in on why this connection isn't where you want it to be, because we have true love coming up on top of the Four of Wands. So we've got two romantic cards here coupled up with the same card back to back, all about balance. So even when I look at this aspect, it's almost like two people here. One person is seeing one side of the situation and the other person is seeing the other side. And so it's almost like there's going to be a balance, as in you're going to be getting some information on their end and they're going to be getting some on your end as well. So for some of you, absolutely what's coming up with the True Love card and the Four of Wands reverse, you may finally be feeling as though you're bridging a gap between you and somebody through communication or through, honestly, if this is somebody new coming up, you feeling as though you're kind of crossing a threshold into a connection where you feel like you and someone are really relating. So it could be like, for some of you, I pick up this energy of the two of you maybe have been acquaintances for quite some time, maybe even colleagues at work, and then feeling as though, oh my gosh, I feel like some barriers are melting, almost feeling as though I feel like I'm starting to understand them on a more intimate level, okay? So intimacy is definitely rising. When we see the True Love card here, the possibilities and the potential are there, but it's all about if you are taking hold of this potential that's in front of you, okay? A lot of times we forget to realize that while the energy is there for you, we also have to do our part to kind of bridge that gap. So for example, you know, if I've got a kitchen and I've got every type of vegetable, every type of meat, every type of, you know, I don't know, whatever, right? I've got everything in the pantry. If I just allow that to sit there, nothing's going to happen, right? So to have it all there, to have all the energy, or in this case, the produce, etc. there, that's great. But we also have to remember that we have to do our own part and, you know, make something out of it. So sometimes the pantry is empty and unfortunately there's not much we can do. We've got to work with what we got. But at this instance, for those that have chose pile number 1, it's like your pantry is very replenished right now through spirit and through maybe even the astrological charts right now. So you have a full pantry for those of you who chose this card and this pile. So just know that, okay? So there's a lot to work with on a very metaphysical level. Just make sure you're applying it as well. Okay, so anyways, hopefully this helped for those that chose this pile. But yeah, you've got a huge potential that could turn into something super great. Because again, when we're getting true love here, I mean, that's a very powerful card. That card does not come up very often, I can tell you right now. So to get that, it's definitely not something to take too lightly and try to make the best out of the situation. And again, the biggest thing that I can give you right now is that look for something that maybe you have slightly overlooked in the past. Someone even potentially that maybe you slightly overlooked in the past. Okay? So now for pile number 2, for those that chose this pile, let's take a look. We've got our carnelian crystal here. So angels, for those that chose pile number 2, what do you feel is coming up next for them? So I can definitely say, and this is pretty interesting, and I don't know, I mean, I don't really watch too many pick-a-cards or tarot readings, honestly. But I can tell you here, like, the most amazing part of this is that I just pulled the cards, but I, of course, did not look at them. And I just find it so astounding, whatever the word is, that I used the carnelian crystal here. And carnelian is all about confidence. It rules the sacral chakra. It's about confidence, your sex drive, your self-esteem, you know, your prowess, your confidence. And so to get this crystal, and then the first card that comes up is the Queen of Wands, which is also a fiery energy, just like the carnelian crystal. It makes it just so much more amazing because the Queen of Wands is all about being bold, being confident, you know, turning heads, like not afraid to shine her light, not afraid to have the spotlight on her. So for those of you who chose pile number 2, you guys are entering into a phase where you're going to be feeling just so proud, so confident, so bold. You know, look at me, you know, because, you know, like, just look at me, you know, and that's a gorgeous thing because so many new doors are going to be opened up through this confidence that is very much well deserved. The Queen of Wands also shows that you're going to be entering into a phase that you're just naturally more passionate and more creative. So you may find yourself in the next couple of weeks picking up a new hobby or really kind of pushing through something that you've been wanting to for quite a long time. Picking up things, having the drive and the passion to, you know, get some things done that maybe you've been kind of like, you know, procrastinating on, honestly. But Queen of Wands is a gorgeous card because it also shows that as you walk around in your day-to-day life, you're going to be getting more looks, and more looks because you're just going to be glowing more. So super gorgeous card to get. I really love it. I definitely feel like for those that did choose carnelian, it makes 100% sense that you're being drawn to this energy because I think for some of you, you've been wanting a little bit more of this energy. Maybe you feel like you have it or maybe you don't, but it's like you've been wanting to pour a little bit of gasoline on that energy, and you're definitely getting it in these next couple of weeks. The next card we have here is to embrace your emotions. So whatever you're feeling, whether it's anger, whether it's happiness, you know, whatever it is, embrace it. And I want you to feel it. I want you to be engulfed by it. but I want you to give yourself a bit of a, I guess like a little bit of a timer on it. So maybe like allow yourself to feel it deeply for like an hour. Because I do feel like the intensity that a lot of you who chose this energy, you're going to be going through some intense feelings, and you know, it's best to like start off slow and then build up to it. You don't want to be completely consumed by this energy, because again, I do feel like it's going to be very powerful. The Tower card here. Yeah. So, you know, again, take your time through these energies, because it's definitely kind of like, I don't know if you know this story of Icarus, the Greek mythology story about Icarus, who he made, I don't know what he made the wings out of, but he wanted to fly as close to the sun as possible. And he made these wings out of maybe paper, or I don't know, guys. Let me know if you're a historian down below. But he made something out of wings, and he tried to fly super high to the sky, and everyone was like, "Don't fly too high, Icarus. You know, you know, if you get an inch, don't take a mile. You know, don't be too big for your britches." But unfortunately, Icarus, he didn't listen, and he took that momentum and he took it to the max, to the extreme of the max, and he flew too high to the sun, and then he, you know, his wings burnt and he fell to the ground, and he fell from grace. So that's kind of like what I pick up here. Like, definitely burn hot, but don't burn to the point of extreme here, okay? Because I do feel like you're going to be drawing in a lot of energy, which is great, because you're going to be able to push through a lot of the things that you've been wanting to do. But just be careful here, because if you've been feeling as though life has been tedious, meticulous, and boring, it's not about to be like that for a while. Like, things are about to change very rapidly. But the thing is, again, try not to get too crazy. Like, I guess one example here is, and I'm going to bring it to real life situations. If you've been cooped up in the house, because we do have the Hermit here, which is about being in the house, staying in the house, being withdrawn from society. If you have been withdrawn from society due to COVID, and maybe you've been in the house for maybe 4 months or 6 weeks, whatever the case is, don't all of a sudden go out into public without a mask and go to like Walmart with a bunch of people, or go to a concert with a bunch of people, you know, because if you try to do the extreme of what you've been through, it's going to be, it may lead to some bad results. So basically what I feel is just like ease yourself into whatever you're doing, but in regards to this, okay? Because you're going to be feeling a huge zap soon. Like, pretty much like, you know, if you drink a bunch of coffee, like, you're going to be feeling a huge zap in energy, and you're going to want to just go like, you're going to feel like you're ADD. You're going to be feeling like you just want to do everything and anything. So you have a little bit of a precaution before this energy kicks in, to just remember to have some balance and to slow it down a little bit, because I do feel like going too fast and too high may definitely result in something adverse, okay? Because the Tower card is here, and it's almost like you've been trying to avoid something negative, but then you get this burst of energy, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, you just totally forget about that doubt or that worry that you had, which was, you know, it was warranted, whatever that is. So just make sure you're not going too fast, okay? Because that's what I pick up here. Hermit is still in effect, so definitely still try to be cautious, even when the energy picks up for you. Okay, that's what I pick up for pile number 2. So you guys definitely have like a shot of adrenaline coming in for you soon, which is going to be fun, amazing. It's going to feel incredible, but just make sure that you don't burn too bright too fast, okay? So now for pile number 3, for those that chose pile number 3, let's take a look and see what your cards are for what is coming in next for you. So I do feel for those that chose pile number 3, what's coming in next may be a little bit of a disappointment, okay? We do have a little bit of a disappointment in regards to love or to romantic situations. And I feel like the connection that you have with this individual is good and it is strong, because we do have the energy of love endures. But you are going to be tested in the next couple of weeks when it comes to this connection. Whether this is just being single and looking for romance, or a partnership, a partnership that already exists, or, even if it's a loose partnership. Because we have the Star card reversed, which shows a little bit of disappointment, Maybe, honestly, we did try to aim too high, which does happen at times, right? But I do feel like for some of you, you're going to be feeling like, oh my gosh, like it didn't live up to expectations, or I don't understand. Like, I feel like maybe I am aiming too high, possibly because I feel like I'm disappointed again. But you do have this energy here of love endures. So this shows me that this is a challenge that you will overcome. This card says, love endures, love does not give up or lose faith, even in the face of disappointment. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So let's take a little bit more of a look at this. So we've got the 5 of Cups. So there definitely has been disappointment in the past, and you may feel a little bit of a repeat of that energy. It almost reminds me of when there's an earthquake and there's like aftershocks, okay? And 9 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, and the 4 of Swords. So for those of you who chose this pile, what I pick up here is that, honestly, guys, you are entering into a bit of a challenging phase, because we do have the 10 of Wands coming up here, which is, it kind of feels like the weight that we carry is a little bit heavier. But the thing is, this is not going to last forever. I do see a break coming up, and with the 4 of Swords reverse, this is communication breakthrough. This is when communication was nada, finally feeling like you're hearing something back from them. So you are going to get through a breakthrough, because the energies here that you are feeling, I do feel it is mutual. Be careful of the negative thoughts that you feel about the situation, because this romantic relationship, it will endure, okay? It may not be today or tomorrow, but this relationship will endure. Be careful, because I do feel like your negative thoughts definitely add some baggage or some weight to what is going on, okay? Some unnecessary weight. It's pretty much like deciding, like if you have to take your laundry to the laundromat, that's like you taking your clothes to the laundromat, putting it through the washer, and then being like, you know what, I'm not gonna dry it. Nah, I think I'm just gonna like put it all back in the basket, and I'm gonna take that home, and I'm gonna walk home with it. I don't know how many of you had to walk home from the laundromat before, but it's just like, I'm just gonna put all the wet clothes in the basket, walk it home, and then I'm gonna hang it on a dryer rack at home. You understand? Like, there's a feeling that I get where some of you may make things even worse or heavier than it is because of negative thoughts. Look at this 9 of Swords. There's a demon on top of this woman, okay? And honestly, that's probably the most accurate aspect of this card, because we know that negative thoughts can literally eat us up alive, and put us in such a dark place, right? Like, I'm talking dark, dark place. And so just be careful, because I do feel like it's the mind that is actually making the situation seem more severe than it really, really is. This individual that you are hopeful for, I feel as though they're going through some type of transition right now, through some type of emotional healing right now. And I do feel like if you can get through this phase, and especially because we have this love endures, this shows me that your guides are promising that this connection will end up in a fashionable manner that you feel comfortable with, okay? But if you can endure it, and what does endure mean? Endure means going through the most challenging aspects. If you can endure this, I do feel like your guides are saying that it's going to end up in a way that is favorable for you. But just be careful, because I do see that a lot of this heaviness is because of negative thinking. So if you're looking on how to eliminate some of this heaviness and some of this anxiety, look and turn towards what's going on in your mind and what you can do about it, okay? So that is what I pick up, guys. That's what's coming up next for you. This is a great spread, honestly, because life does throw us lemons, and it's definitely good to be able to prepare for it. You know, we want to be able to prepare for these things. So I hope that this reading was able to help at least one person today. But yeah, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the reading. Take care, and if you would like a personal reading, the link is right down below, everyone. So take care, and I'll see you next time.